The apple brew is ready.
So what are we waiting for?
That's a whole lot better than Kinovision, isn't it?
You're right, but I still find it a little uneventful.
That's harsh. When the sun just disappeared beyond the horizon, that was quite a twist. Do you think the sun will rise tomorrow? Or is the world going to descend in darkness? A real cliffhanger.
Pass me the bottle instead of talking blute.
I think it's empty.
Ugh, blute. I still can't believe we made it.
Well, it wasn't a big bottle or anything.
I meant we made it here, on Source.
Yeah, the odds weren't in our favor.
You mean you would have bet against yourself?
Considering the general condition of the ship, the meshing of the patrols, and the distance we had to go, definitely.
So why did you agree to follow me here?
Because you asked me to. What? Did I say something wrong?
No. Is your chair comfortable?
Why?
Mine is a bit big, just for myself.
Come sit.
Do you regret it?
What?
Following me?
Why would I regret that? Just look at this sky. Look at us. What is there to regret?
I don't know. The people? Don't you miss that? Seeing people?
Honestly? No. I did have friends and colleagues. When we left the apiary, at first, I thought I would miss them. I thought that after a while, I would feel a void. I need to see them again. But that hasn't happened yet. Actually, I consider myself pretty lucky to have you. Asking for more would seem egotistical or ungrateful. Anyway, I don't think I should be telling you these things, or else you'll end up realizing that I don't deserve you.
Do you really think that?
Should I?
Of course not. Are you crazy? You're the best person I know. I'm the one who doesn't deserve you.
You're also the best person I know. You know what? I think the world doesn't deserve us.
Oh, I need a break.
Huh? Are you okay? I've never seen you shy away from finishing a plate.
Bit hyperbolic.
It tastes bad, doesn't it?
No, it's really good. It's just, when you said you were making a salad, I wasn't expecting this. This is actually really, really fatty.
Well, of course there's boba nut in it.
There's gotta be a way to soak up a bit of the fat, you know?
Maybe if I pan-fried them, then drain them in an ice bath with some cheesecloth, that would remove the excess fat but preserve the texture of the nuts.
There you go. Sounds great.
I'll try that now.
Okay. You can try that for next time. because I'm really not hungry right now.
Huh. Okay. Next time. So, want to do anything?
I don't know.
Want to go outside?
Do you?
Eh,
Thought so.
we could play a game.
I don't really feel like it right now.
Too bad there's nothing we can watch.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to it.
Come on.
Get up. Get moving.
Go, go, go.
You didn't get up.
Neither did you.
I think I'll need another minute.
Take your time.
I think I'll take a shower. Wanna join? To conserve the hot water.
Okay. But I can't guarantee we'll conserve hot water.
You know, this planet in bits is pretty weird.
Are you just realizing this now?
No, but, I mean, having self-standing bits gravitating around a larger core would make sense. It could be a sign of a young planet still in formation. But why would the apiary try to colonize such a jumble? From a logistical standpoint, it makes no sense.
That's true. They must have had a very good reason.
Unless
What?
Source wasn't in this condition when they arrived.
What? What do you mean? Did the apiary cause this to happen?
I didn't say that, but it's a possibility. If we keep on exploring, we should know more.
Huh? What are you doing up so late?
I had an idea. I wasn't able to go back to sleep, so I went ahead and tested it. Want to hear about it?
Yeah, okay. But real quickly. 'Cause the only reason I'm awake is that I have to pee.
Alright, so we figured out that rust was not a mineral matter, nor was it organic matter. So what else is left?
Antimatter?
Correct. I didn't even think of that. But no, if it were antimatter, we wouldn't be standing here talking about it. So considering that rust is neither mineral nor organic, nor is it antimatter. It could be flow.
Cool. But you could have just asked me. You can tell it's not flow because flow is blue and all flowy. This is red and all hard.
I'll have you know that I just completed the test, and the rust molecules are precisely the same as those in flow. They're just organized differently. Kind of like water and ice, if you will, just not the same. That's why flow, in the form as we know it, has such a strong effect on the rust. The molecules are binding, unbinding, and...
Yes, sorry to interrupt, but are you almost done?
I guess that depends on how detailed an explanation you need.
The least.
Then I'm done.
Okay, thanks. Gotta pee.
Whose turn is it to clean out the shower?
If you have to ask, that means it's yours. Okay? We need to talk.
Should I be worried?
Yes. No. Maybe. Promise me you won't be mad.
I can't promise anything without knowing what this is about.
It's about your skidding skills.
Oh.
Let's just say that you could use some extra training.
Okay, show me.
You're not mad?
Why would I be mad? I love to learn new things.
All right. Let's hop on a few threads to practice. Skid! That's it! You did it! Let's do another one. Now! Now you're getting it. Let's see if you can keep it going. Now! Now! Now you have a handle on this. Perfect.
I have to say, I have an excellent teacher.
Well, you passed the test. Let's get back to business.
Signature move, perfect execution, 10 out of 10. Hope you're not afraid of heights. Feels even crazier with your eyes closed.
You had your eyes closed?
Another tremor. It's as if Source were still breaking into fragments.
If only it would stop fragmenting beneath our feet.
We move in, and the rust clears out.
Catala spirata, a bulbous plant from the suppilaceous family. This flower has an incredible feature. It can flap its petals to send olfactory signals upwards and attract pollinators in the sky.
I wasn't asking. But you can tell me what that is.
That's a biggin'. A little large for a pollinator. But she doesn't look very aggressive.
Why is she flying in place like this?
She may be attracted by our smell. Or by something that's in our pocket. Do you want an apple dew? Oh, okay. Nope, no apple dew.
Some rust?
What are you doing? Why would she want some rust? This? Ah, she likes this.
What was that?
Leftover roasted apple dews.
She didn't want apple dews, but roasted apple dews are good?
Such is the power of cooking.
Anyway, she doesn't seem to have any issue traveling from one islet to the other.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
Yeah, we need to fix up the nest.
What? No! I thought we could ride on top of her so she could bring us to other islets. Huh?
Oh wait, you're serious?
Well,
Hold on, Kay. That is an absurdly terrible idea.
why is that?
Ever heard of the law of attraction, gravitational pull, broken bones?
Come on, you. I thought you loved flying.
Yes, with seats and safety belts. Oh yeah, and cockpits too. Plus, how do you expect to climb on top of her? She'll never cooperate.
We just fed her. We're buddies now.
Kay, you're out of your mind.
If I manage to get on top of her, you'll follow?
And if you don't manage?
I will rub your feet every day for a week.
2 weeks.
10 days.
Sold. Do your worst.
Ready to get on board?
Do I have a choice?
A bet is a bet.
I hate you, Kay.
No, you're gonna love it. You'll see.
Why isn't she moving?
Maybe she's waiting for directions. Let me try.
Whoa!
Off we go. That worked. She understood. Thank you. I'm afraid that's gonna be a bit tough for us to say.
Birble? Can we call you Birble?
All right, Birble it is.
Hey, Birble. Are you sticking around? We might want to go back to where we came from.
You thought you were so sly.
Nice, nice. That's some good growing.
Oh, look. That's how we got here.
Are you sure we didn't come this way?
Yeah. Maybe. What about the nest? Do you know which way that is?
I think somewhere in that direction. But I can't really tell with this mist.
At least from here, we can see the whole flow bridge.
Yeah, hard to tell when you're inside of it, but that thing is massive. And from here, you'd never know this is just millions of flow threads woven together.
Just millions of flow threads?
You know what I'm saying.
I'm wondering what the universe would look like without the flow arcs.
For one thing, we wouldn't be here to talk about it.
How do you mean?
The flow bridges are linking together 2 points in space, correct?
Carry on.
Anytime matter goes in the vicinity of these bridges, it's transported from one end to the other. Matter gathers at either end of the bridge, and that's what ends up creating these planets. Without flow bridges, no planets. Without planets, no life would happen. Without life happening, no us.
Not necessarily. Matter has to go elsewhere. Even without a flow bridge, a bit of matter would eventually collide with another bit of matter. Then another one, and another one. And all of these would fuse together, held tight by gravitational strength alone. It could eventually create planets of some kind. And with the right conditions, life might be able to spring too, wouldn't it?
Perhaps. But without flow bridges, planets would be all isolated from one another.
Yes, of course. Can you imagine the horror? Stuck your entire life on this one planet. Without a flow bridge, looking up to the infinite sky, with its billions of stars and planets, thinking that you'll never even get to touch them, that you'll never know anything else.
You just gave me chills.
I'm getting depressed just thinking about it, actually.
All right. Let's just try and get this out of our heads.
This one has a hilarious shape.
For real. Whoop whoop!
Just do the whole island.
I'll follow your lead.
Here we go. More rest. Making headway.
One day we're gonna break a limb doing this.
And it will be worth it. Again. Ready when you are.
Ready.
This one's ready.
Yep. You block, I'll hit. You. On your mark.
Go, go, go! You know what to do.
I got this.
Woo!
Are you all right? You're safe.
Nice. Booyah! Done and done. Ready when you are.
All set. You.
Yep, saw that.
Ready.
Almost done. Now shoot.
We make a good team.
On your mark.
Anytime. This one's ready. Oh! No, no, no! There you go.
One to go.
Ready when you are.
Ready.
Your turn.
Yep. Let's get it over with.
And done.
The end.